Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. This is another discussion video, so it's not a haul video or a video that necessarily shows books or anything like that. It's just something, my observations, experiences, and just stuff for conversation. As many of you know, I've been on YouTube now for about 4 years. Some have been on longer, some have been on for a much shorter period of time. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, what it's meant for me in these 4 years and so forth. So I just wanted to discuss a couple of things. I got my notes here, as I usually do, because I tend to forget things if I don't write them down. One of the main reasons why I decided to come on YouTube a few years ago, I was watching a few videos, and I mentioned this in other videos. I remember watching a couple of videos by Cougar Comics. I remember watching videos from Arkham Comics Las Vegas, who used to be Living Dead Comics, Dan. And I remember watching videos from Lightning and Hero Hunter and Omega Ryu Shinken. Sometimes I get that name mixed up. A lot of Street Fighter references in that, so I should remember. But I remember watching those type of videos, and I was brought into this, notion that there was a YouTube comic book community where people could talk about books that they just got, and talk about books that they've had, and things that they want, and things that they like, things that they don't like, and it was very fascinating to me. The reason why I found it fascinating is because, from my experience with collecting, I didn't really know too many people that collected books. Sure, over the years, there were a few people that I knew that were interested in collecting comics or may have collected comics, but nothing of any substance. There were people in my family that I knew for many years that collected comic books, but it was something that you really kept to yourself, as I did too, because there was, large portions of my family don't understand the hobby. They don't understand the reason why people collect anything, to be quite frank, especially something like comic books. That was pretty much, for the most part in my family, it's pretty much looked down on and ridiculed. So I guess that's why some of my cousins kept it to themselves as much as I did. So there really wasn't, long story short, too late, there wasn't really any place I could go talk to at any sort of depth about collecting comics. So that's what one of the big appeals for me entering the community was. Show off some new books that I got, show off some old books, and just share some of my views, although some may not be as positive as others, about the hobby, and all that stuff. What I really liked about the community was it was really an assortment of different type of people come together. Now, what I mean by that is you have from what I've seen, from what I've experienced, there are your collectors, and then there are people that maybe sell books, or keep large collections, finish runs, have collections of only 20 books. It's just so fascinating. I never understood any of that before I started entering the community. I was in my own world, as I often say in some of my videos. I collected what I liked and so forth and so on. But seeing people who were just so passionate about collecting and fulfilling runs and buying and selling to get more things, or just to buy and sell for whatever reason, I just thought that there was such an interesting concept, an interesting aspect of this hobby that I think all pretty much enjoy. So that was another thing that really stuck out for me. What I like when it comes to people that associate themselves with comics. Now, I say people that associate. I didn't specifically say comic book collectors. I didn't specifically say comic book dealers. I have a broad range of what I mean by what I'm going to say. What I like to see in videos, or what I like to see on Instagram, or whenever I talk to people that are involved in this hobby in one form or some form or another is I like it when I learn something. That's one of the biggest draws for me, especially when I'm watching the videos. I must say, when I watch videos, I like watching videos where I can learn. I don't have to learn all the time for me to like a video or not. That's not what I'm saying, but I prefer. So one of the approaches that I've taken with some of my videos, maybe good for some people, maybe not so good for others, is I like to give a story. You may not necessarily be learning a whole lot, but other than the fact that why a book is important to me, I give you a little history. I always throw years around to explain I wanted this since that time, or I've had this since then. I try to give a little history. In a sense, you learn a little bit about me. I like that when I watch videos. I like learning about the individual or the individuals that are making the videos. I like learning about the hobby in general when it comes to the things I said, but also I learn a lot from people that flip books, when it comes to investments. What books are good for investment? What books are good for the quick flip? I enjoy those too. I enjoy people that are in the hobby for those reasons as well. So that's why I said a few moments ago there are people that are in the hobby. Not necessarily collectors, not necessarily dealers, but a wide range of people, whatever they consider themselves. I like to learn. I can learn from both, and I have. I certainly have learned a lot. Some of the people, now this is, it's not necessarily a typical shout-out video because that's not what it means. This video is about what the title is, what the title I wrote down for this video. That's what it's about. But it's hard not to mention some people. Some people that I've learned from a lot of people. Let me just say that. And the fact that I keep learning is what really keeps me involved in this community, which makes me want to release videos, which makes me want to release videos like this, which makes me want to watch more videos and follow people on Facebook or Instagram and so forth and so on. But some of the people that I've definitely learned a lot from is, as you could probably guess, I've learned a lot from guys like ETA Nick, Dr. Von Chilla. These are guys that, Patrick, of course, these are guys to me that represent another. They've all entered the hobby at different decades. Dr. Von Chilla has been, I think, since the late 60s. Patrick has been since the early 70s, and Nick has been, I think, since 1980, early 80s, something like that. So it's interesting to hear perspectives and to talk to these guys, both on air and off air, about the hobby. Some of their interests in it, whether it's flipping books or holding on to books or what books where they are really important to them and stuff like that. I learned a lot, and a lot of times I feel like I'm the apprentice of the group, which I probably am. Even I came in the early 90s, so although early 90s was a while ago, it's hard to believe, but it was a while ago. There's still a lot more that people can learn from guys like Nick, Dr. Von Chilla, Patrick, and so forth, and many others. Many others. Just because I'm not mentioning you doesn't mean I haven't learned from you. I think I've learned a lot from Dan, Arkham Comics Las Vegas. I enjoy his videos a lot, and he's very knowledgeable about grading and all that stuff. You could take from some of these guys whatever you can, whether it's grading, investment, nostalgia, appreciation for art, covers. You could take whatever, or you could take it all. So that's what I do. Also, as I close this video, I appreciate you all for watching this video, because it's not the typical video. Hey, look what I got here, look what I got there. There's plenty of room for those videos, and there'll be plenty more videos like that. But every now and then I like to take a step back and talk about some of these things that I find important. Give a little more substance to, hey, look, I just got the first appearance of this character or that character, and so forth. Not saying those videos are bad, because I do them too, because I don't think they're bad, but I like to do videos like this every now and then. I think YouTube has been great. There's been ups and downs for everybody, I think. I'm not excluded from that statistic, but I think it's been a really good experience for over these 4 years, and I can't stress enough, I enjoy meeting people, even though I seem like I'm a little standoffish. Well, I guess I am kind of standoffish, but when I do meet people in person at cons and so forth, I am generally friendly. And I enjoy meeting people. One of the best times I've had going to a con was the Heroes Con, meeting a bunch of people that I normally wouldn't meet up here in New Jersey at a local con, or the New York Con, or Philadelphia Con, or anything like that. People, more down south. I really enjoyed meeting you guys and gals. Guys like Carl and so forth. It was really, really great. And I think some of the best experiences I've had with this community outside showing the books and making haul videos was meeting some of you that I think I've become friends with. Guys like Andoni, Herc Collects Comics. He doesn't really make too many videos. Vince, Simplified Comic Guy, and of course Patrick. Can't get enough of all three of you guys, and I always look forward to seeing you guys and talking with you and just catching up. And some of you I talk to more often than others. But those are some of the great things that I've learned, experienced while in this community over these 4 years. So hope you all stay tuned for more videos from me. I got many more planned, both comic book and video game videos. Thank you all again for subscribing and commenting, and thank you all for watching. Take care, everyone.